Hey, welcome to The Monitor. I'm Peter Rubin, senior editor at Wired, and this week, you know what's back? Oh, we're going back to Westeros, y'all. Game of Thrones, Sunday night on HBO. Season 3, of course, coincides with the third book in the Song of Ice and Fire series. A Storm of Swords, which for many people is their most loved book in the George R.R. Martin fantasy saga. But when we come back, we finally meet Mance Rayder, King of the Wildlings, and he is bitchin'. We've been hearing his name for 2 years now, and we finally get to meet him. We don't see everyone that we left in Season 2, but a lot of the primary characters are back, and there's a lot of nice, agile exposition that grounds us in where we left off in Season 2. But there's a lot in store, there's some new characters coming, and there is a lot of madness afoot. Winter is coming in late March. Sunday nights, HBO, Game of Thrones. Let's talk about a new comic book. So this actually happened last week, on the very day we taped last week's episode of The Monitor, so we didn't get it in the show, but want to talk about it now. So Brian K. Vaughan, comic book and television writer extraordinaire, he wrote Why the Last Man. He's writing the fantastic Saga series right now. He teamed up with artist Marcos Martin, and they said, let's make a comic book and let people pay what they want and not have it be DRM'd and just have it be online only, so that is what they did. The series The Private Eye started last week. It is going to be a 10-issue maxi series. You can pay what you want, you can download it in a variety of formats. It's online only, and it's great. It takes place in the near future, and some sort of info security lapse has made everything fall out of the cloud. So everybody's personal information has been exposed. People freaked out. There's no more wireless, there's no more internet, there's no more networking. In that sense, it's a little bit like the new Battlestar Galactica. But there is this paparazzo who is kind of also a private eye, and he digs up information for people. Anonymity is achieved by wearing these elaborate holographic identities that people call NIMS. Anyway, the writing is great. It's littered with fantastic pop culture references. Brian K. Vaughan's writing is as piquant as ever, and great art by Marcos Martin. It is a great start. The Private Eye, you have to go to panelsyndicate.com in order to pay what you like and download it. So do that, but make it fair. Support great independent comic book storytelling. Let's talk about video games. It was supposed to come out last fall. It was supposed to come out in February. It is finally out this week. It is BioShock Infinite, the third, but actually really the spiritual sequel to the original BioShock, because this is also spearheaded by Ken Levine and Irrational Games. The original BioShock was their brainchild. This takes place not in the 50s, not in an undersea place, but in a floating cloud city called Columbia. It takes place in the 1910s, and it is this sprawling, crazy political tale of intrigue and xenophobia and a little bit of magic and all kinds of craziness. It is by far one of the most creative games of the past few years. People have been freaking out about this. I'm just glad it lives up to the hype. I was hoping to have my copy by the time I tape this. I don't, but I also edited February issue's great feature on BioShock Infinite, so you can read that if you need a bunch of great exclusive background information on what's going on. At any rate, out from Irrational Games on 2K Publisher. Yes, 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 buy that. Also, fantastic music. They need to put out the soundtrack. That's it for The Monitor this week. We'll be back next week with more pop culture goodness, but until then, inspirational catchphrase here.